You know what this is. It's here! What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. You know what this review is. I'm gonna be reviewing the new Camellia highlighter from Chanel. You guys have been asking me nonstop if I'm going to be reviewing this highlighter, and guess what? I have it, so let's get into it. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Sophia. This is my channel, Sophia Sees Beauty, where we talk about all things beauty and makeup. If you want a little bit more beauty in your timeline, if you are a lover of luxury beauty like me, please, I invite you to hit the subscribe button and join our community. Also, if you guys like this video and you want to see more Chanel reviews for me, please smash that like button, and I will link everything in this video in the description box down below. We're going to be really getting into this highlighter. I'm going to be doing a demo. I have lots of comparisons for you guys, so let's get started. So if you guys are Chanel lovers, you probably saw lots of previews of this particular collection. Chanel launched a very, very beautiful, what I think is a spring collection, maybe the Blanc collection, maybe the summer collection. Guys, I cannot keep up. There's been a lot of delays with a lot of the Chanel products. I think they're just having supply chain issues, guys, and this particular product was delayed over and over again. It is now available in the US. It was available, I believe, in the UK, maybe in Europe before that. So some of you guys already have had this and have already shared some of your thoughts with me. But this came out with a couple of other items, which I will link down below. It includes another eye quad. I know there's a couple of really lovely nail polishes. I believe there's like a highlighting stick. There's a couple of other really nice products in the collection. But without a doubt, the product that has the most hype and that you guys were most excited for was this illuminating powder. Okay, so this illuminating powder you can get at Chanel.com. Apparently you can get it at some boutiques as well. It's honestly hard to know, guys, but this particular powder is $80. It's a whopping $80, okay? And I will show you guys just some close-ups of the packaging right now. This seems to be pretty much standard packaging from Chanel. It also comes with this really cute little kabuki brush. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I did a little unboxing for you guys when I first got this last night. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you definitely need to. That's where I do all of my like immediate unboxings. I tell you guys when these things drop, okay, when they are for sale, because this is a very limited product. If you're interested in this, I highly recommend you watch this review, decide if you want it, and if you want it, get it as soon as possible, okay? But it does come with this cute little brush, which actually I think is very good quality. I think it feels very luxe. It has a little Chanel emblem on the bottom. It's very, very gorgeous. So let's take a look inside at this illuminating powder. They are calling this an illuminating powder, not a highlighter. And this is called the Rêve de CAMELIA. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that all right. But it has this gorgeous, you guys will see in the close-ups, camellia that is almost, it's not imprinted into the compact. It's almost like blooming out of the compact. It's coming out at you. And that is one of the reasons why you guys are so into this, because not only does it look like a really nice formula and a beautiful tone, but it just looks pretty, guys. Like, it looks stunning. I'm not gonna lie. You'll see in the close-ups, okay? And this is made in Italy, and it has an 18-month shelf life. So all in all, I think in terms of like highlighters from Chanel, similar packaging that we're getting here, similar shelf life, made in Italy, luxurious formula. This is what it looks like. And I will show you guys close-up swatches of this in daylight so you can really get a sense for what this formula looks like. A lot of you guys said this has a transparent base. I wouldn't say it has a transparent base. I think that it does pack a punch, especially like as you start to use it more and you get kind of past that like first layer of the embossing that's on here. I really do think it has a fair amount of pigment, so I do want to mention that, but it's very soft. The formula is powdery, it's very finely milled. You'll see in the demo, this really just kind of like buffs and melts into your skin, and it does have this beautiful, it's like a champagne tone, but it has a really beautiful kind of like pink undertone that I think is going to suit a lot of skin tones. For me, that's great because I am very pale. I feel like these types of tones, they really melt into my skin. I was watching another review and somebody mentioned that this particular collection is typically designed for the Asian market. So just kind of keep that in mind. You know, they only have one shade here and they are designing this for folks that typically, okay, have like a little bit of a fairer skin tone. So we'll just kind of keep that in mind. That's something that I saw in another review that I wanted to mention. Okay, friends, I hope those swatches were helpful, but I know what you guys are really looking for is the demo and then comparisons with other luxury highlighters that are in my collection. So let's get into that. Okay, party people, let's try this new highlighting powder from Chanel. I'm so excited. I've got a bunch of brushes here. We're gonna do a demo and then we're gonna do a bunch of comparisons. If you guys are wondering what is on my face today, I am wearing the Pat McGrath foundation in the shade Light 6. I also have the new Dior Backstage concealer on. I have one of the new Goss spring blushes, which is Sweet Wildflower. And then I'm also wearing Goss's gloss in the color Hyacinth. That's what this is right here. And I will link all of that stuff down below. All right, enough of that. Let's get into this highlighter from Chanel. I'm gonna be putting this obviously on my cheekbones, but I'm also gonna be putting this on my eyes so we can see what it looks like as an eyeshadow. You guys will have already seen some close-ups, but this is what it looks like. And then we have this little kabuki brush. So I thought that at least on one cheek, we try the little kabuki brush, and then on the other cheek, we can try one of my other, you know, bougie Fude brushes. All right, so I'm going in, and guys, like, I don't want to ruin this embossing, but I already had to swatch it, so it's like, c'est la vie, you know? So this particular brush doesn't pick up quite as much, and if you guys are new here, I do film in natural light, so I'm facing my window. We have a nice, gorgeous morning light for this video, so I'm really excited. Ooh, okay. Wow, that's a lot blingier than I thought this was gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. I have the Sonia G Smooth Buffer Brush. You gotta have this, guys, for these types of illuminating powders. And I'm just gonna blend that into the skin. And let's actually try this brush up here. I didn't put on highlighter before this. I did also put on the Victoria Beckham bronzing brick, but I made sure not to put on anything that was too glowy because I didn't want it to impact this experiment. So yeah, I think that this little kabuki brush, it does a pretty good job of depositing the color. I just don't like brushes that are this like dense for putting on this kind of a product. This doesn't really make sense to me. I'm kind of afraid that it's going to disturb my foundation underneath. This is not really a highlighting brush to me. This would be good if this was more of like that Chantecaille blurring powder. You guys know which one I'm talking about, like a finishing powder. I can kind of see where this would come in, but I don't know. This is a really nice brush. I just don't think personally that I would use it for this, but you saw it went on pretty well. It's not bad. I just don't, this is just like a little too dense. I almost feel like it's a little bit too rough on my cheekbone. So that is what it looks like. So let's take a look at my cheekbone here. Still a bit glowy. I did put on the Pat McGrath foundation, but you can definitely tell how this just melted into the skin and it looks very, very seamless. It doesn't add too much color. This particular color, like, you know, look at it against my skin tone. It's kind of like a perfect match for my skin tone. So for me, it's gonna really blend in. If you are a little bit tanner, if you're a little bit darker, I think this might have a little bit more of a pop. So let's apply this to my other cheekbone. And this time I'm gonna use the Goss airbrush. This is one of my favorite highlighting brushes. All right, so we're just going into here. And I wanna show you guys, if I just kind of lightly tap, this particular highlighter, it doesn't pick up, ooh, got a little cat hair on there. This doesn't pick up an insane amount of product, which I kind of like. Sometimes you go into those like Becca highlighters, RIP, or a Pat McGrath or something like that, and it picks up like a ton, okay? This is a little bit more modest, but I think that that's good because I don't actually think that you need that much. I'm just gonna turn so you guys can see. We'll put a little bit up here. So we have the side with the kabuki, which I feel like I kind of loaded it up a little bit so you can go this blingy. And then this is the side with the Goss airbrush. Comment down below and let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys, if you picked it up, did you try out the highlighter with this little kabuki brush? Let me know if you're planning on using it. Do you normally use this? Again, I don't have that many products from Chanel. This is my first highlighter from them. So I'm all here for the tips, guys. Now let's put this on our eyes. I'm gonna be using the BK Beauty 206 just because it's it's a shader brush, but it's a fluffy shader brush. So it's gonna be nice and soft, and then we can figure out if we're able to build this up. I just put a little bit of that Victoria Beckham bronzer in my crease in preparation. Ooh. Okay, so this is my eyelid without, and this is my eyelid with the highlighter. That's really pretty. I don't know if I would wear this on its own because it's almost like a little bit too soft for me, but I think that this would look really pretty, maybe accompanied by another type of eyeshadow or just kind of like in the center of the lid. But I do think for a lot of you guys, this is gonna be perfectly sufficient for like a one and done eyeshadow. I also wanna point out to you guys, I haven't really been using this product all that much yet, but the embossing is, I don't know if you can see that, the embossing is definitely immediately wearing away. So I just want to bring that up because I know that a lot of you guys, you find this to be so beautiful. And with a lot of like baked gelée products, those take a while for the embossing to fade. But for this, I don't, you know, it's not that kind of a formula. And so because of that, because it's very soft and powdery and finely milled, the embossing is already rubbing off. So I just want to mention that for those of you who care. I'm applying this to the bottom lash line with this Chikuhodo Z series brush. This is just a little pencil brush in that series. All right, friends, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like on the eyes with just a little bit of bronzer in the crease. I'm gonna go put on some mascara so you can see the full effect. Okay, I'm back. I put on the Rare Beauty mascara. That's all I did. And I think this looks beautiful. I think this is a really pretty spring look. I really like it with the Wayne Goss lip gloss, kind of like a juicy lip. I think that this is giving me spring glow. I love it. Now, let's compare this with some other highlighters in my collection. I asked you guys, what do you want me to compare this with? And you guys sent me a bunch of suggestions and requests, and then I have a couple of others that I picked out. So let's dive in and see if I can dupe this, if I have anything similar in my collection. So this particular highlighter, it is very soft. Its swatch is very soft. A lot of you guys have been saying it has a transparent base. I don't know if I fully agree with that. I don't really know what that means. I think that this is just like, it is a very soft highlighter. So the first thing that came to mind for me was actually the Guerlain Meteorites. I have the ones that were launched in this past holiday season. These are called gold pearls. So this has kind of like a golden peachiness to it, and I immediately thought of this product. So let me swatch this for you guys. So this is the Chanel highlighter, okay? And then this is, I just kind of swirled my finger around in there best I can, okay? I just want to show you guys, I know that the gold pearls from Guerlain, it's definitely more golden. It's definitely like more peachy. I would almost say this doubles as like a glowy blush, but I do think that the finish is very, very similar. Like just kind of swatching these, I think that the Guerlain Meteorites, obviously depending on the color, is kind of like the closest formula and the closest like vibe that you can get on the cheeks. So if you guys already have a lot of the, you know, Guerlain Meteorites in your collection, you may not need this Chanel highlighter. I think it's going to give you a very, very similar effect. It's like a soft highlighting powder. Again, this one that I have from the holiday collection, it does have a little bit of color to it. It has a little bit of peachiness to it, and it's also rather glowy. So that is one of the most similar things that I have in my collection. Next up, I instantly thought of Hourglass, okay? Because when I think of a soft highlighter, I think of Hourglass. So let's take a look at, I have here the Ambient Lighting Edit Ghost. I know this isn't available anymore, but I really just want to take a look at the formula because, you know, obviously guys, this color, I don't think it's anything groundbreaking. It's like a nude highlight. I think it's really just like the full effect. So let's see, I'm gonna go into this one right here and see if this is similar, okay? So I have the Chanel right here. This is the Ghost. Okay, so I think that this from Chanel is just like a little bit punchier. I think it's a slightly more metallic. Actually, if you want something that is even more subtle than this, you might want to go with the Hourglass. Now, I also have the newest palette. This was the Universe, I believe. This is what we have here. So I thought, you know what? Why don't we try this Infinity powder as well? Swatch that on the other side. That's more of a finishing powder. So that one, definitely not blingy enough. Let's go into this highlighter because I think that this highlighter has another really pretty tone that kind of mimics the one from Chanel. I wiped that other swatch off so that we could swatch it right here. Okay. I actually think that those are pretty similar. I think the one that is in the Ghost palette right here, and again, this is the lighter one. This came in like a light version and a dark version. I have the light version, but this right here, I think it's very similar. I think it's a little bit more peachy golden, whereas the Chanel one is a little bit more of like a champagne shade. It's slightly lighter, but I think that the finish is honestly very, very similar. And just so you guys know, this is the Strobe formula from Hourglass. I know they have a couple of different highlighters. It is in the Strobe formula, so this one is going to be like a little bit blingier than maybe some of their other highlighters, but I think that these are pretty similar in formula as well. Another formula that I really wanted to look at are the highlighters from Wayne Goss. Now these, I recently reviewed his spring collection for you guys, and in that collection we have Desert Blossom. This is my favorite blush and highlighter duo that he's come out with. Again, these do have a blush in them, so it's a duo, but I want to show you guys the difference here. So I have the highlighter from Desert Blossom and I have the Chanel highlighter, and they do have very similar tones. So let's swatch. This is the Chanel and this is from the Desert Blossom. So I would say this one is just a little bit more warm tone, and the Chanel one is definitely a little bit more on the pinky side, but I do think they have a similar vibe. I think that when you pick up the Wayne Goss highlighters, they do pack a little bit more of a punch. I think it's a little bit more of like a lighter hand. When you dip that brush in, you see that it picks up more pigment, whereas I think the Chanel one, it has a little bit more just like translucency to it. But I think that like if you have these ones from Wayne Goss, like I think it gives a very similar glow is what I'm trying to say. We're moving along, guys. We're moving along, and I'm gonna get to Dior. Don't worry, because you guys requested that. But first, we gotta do Pat McGrath, okay? So I saw that this was kind of pinky in tone. I mean, it's a little bit more champagne, let's be real. And so I thought, you know what? Let's compare that against this highlighter. This is the Divine Rose highlighter from Pat McGrath. And I gotta say, guys, this isn't similar at all. Just kind of show you here in the pan. This is much blingier, and it's very much like a duochrome. So I'm not even gonna swatch that because right off the bat, I don't think that this is similar at all. Very, very different style of highlighter, very different effect. But then I also have Skin Fetish Divine Glow highlighter in Golden Nectar. This came out, I believe, last year. So I thought, you know what? Let's try that one. Yeah. It's a very much a different tone. This is definitely golden. It's called Golden Nectar, okay? But also, similar to the Wayne Goss, I think that these Pat McGrath shadows, just in general, they're a little bit more pigmented. They're a little bit more pigmented. I wouldn't like buff that all over my face like I would the Chanel, okay? I think that so far the Chanel is probably the most similar to the Hourglass and their Guerlain Meteorites. Let's get into Dior. Okay guys, so I have their Backstage highlighters and I also have their Couture highlighters. What are these called? Dior Forever Couture highlighters. And I have a full review of every single color of these. So if you guys are interested in these and you want to see the swatches of every single color in their collection, definitely check out that video. I will link it down below, but I have several shades here for us to compare. All right, so here I have Pink Glow number 2, and I also have number 4 Golden Glow. I have Nude Glow, but that one actually comes across as more like gold. I know it makes no sense. The golden is actually a little bit softer with more of a peachier undertone, so let's compare these. So right off the bat, you can see these all have slightly different tones. This is the Pink Glow, Golden Glow, and this is the Chanel. Let's swatch. Pink Glow, Golden Glow, and here we have the Chanel. I don't really think any of these are similar in tone, honestly. Like, I almost feel like the Chanel is a mixture of these two tones. This is very golden, this is very pink. So I don't know, guys. I also think that the Dior just has a slightly more pigmented base as well. Like, these are a big gelée formula, so I do feel like you can kind of buff them into the skin. I think they have that same effect where they just melt into the skin, but I don't know. I would be careful with these because they do pack a punch. I don't think that the formula is super similar. Again, this is more, it seems like it's more of like, a baked formula, whereas this one from Chanel is definitely like a little bit more powdery. So that is from Dior. Now, another product that I have that is not released yet in the US is the new Riviera highlighter from Dior. I haven't done a review for you guys yet. I'm trying to get the other shade so that I can do a full review. If you want that review, please comment down below. And these don't look very similar in the pan. This one is 001 Nude Riviera, but I think that these actually look fairly similar when you swatch them. So this is the Chanel. Okay. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that the Nude Riviera is just a little bit deeper. Yeah, the Nude Riviera is just a little bit deeper. I think in general, this Chanel color, this is just very light. It seems like this is lighter than a lot of the shades from Dior. It's like from Dior, you either have kind of like a deeper shade or you have this icy pink. So I really don't think this compares to anything in the Dior Forever Couture Luminizer line. Now we have the Dior Backstage highlighters. These are definitely more of a baked gelée formula. So I just want to show you guys the difference in texture for these as well. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I do think that these two Dior Backstage highlighters, and I'm not gonna swatch every shade in the quads that I have, but I did swatch them earlier. I do think that they are just like a lot more glittery. They have a little bit more of like a glittery punch to them than the Chanel. So let me swatch this right here. I've got the Chanel right here, and then these are two of the shades from the Backstage palette, okay? I've got the champagne shade in the 001 Universal, and then I also took the rose gold 004 and I swatched this one, that right there. So this is the Chanel, this is the champagne from 001 Universal, and this is the one from the rose gold palette. Yeah, guys, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm looking at it up close, and like, while the tones of these two look very similar, this one actually, I don't know if you can see that, it's just so much blingier. It has almost like a gold sheen, almost like a holographic sheen, and it's very, very smooth like baked gelée formulas are. I just feel like this one is a little bit more transparent. So it's different, it's similar in tone, but the actual reflection that you get, hopefully you can see how this is just way more subtle, is very different. All right, friends, those were my comparisons. I hope that was helpful for you. If there's another highlighter that I didn't compare, please comment down below and let me know if you want me to compare that. I can post that to my Instagram. And if I didn't compare it, it probably means that it actually isn't that similar. I tried to pull out things that I knew you guys had in your collections or that I thought would be similar to this very beautiful luxury formula. So let me summarize everything in my final thoughts. Okay, guys, let's go through my final thoughts. I'm gonna summarize everything that I think about this highlighter. First off, is it good? Yes, it's good. Like, did you guys see the demo? Okay, this is good. This is a gorgeous highlighter. It's gorgeous. That being said, let's talk a little bit about what this might be similar to and if I think this is worth the $80. When I look into my collection, to me, the two formulas that are probably the most similar to this are the Hourglass highlighters and the Guerlain Meteorites. The Guerlain Meteorites go for $64. That's what I'm seeing on Sephora. And the Hourglass highlighters are $43, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. Like, you can get an enormous Hourglass highlighter in a variety of different tones, and I think you're gonna get kind of like a similar effect for half the price. The Guerlain Meteorites, I know it's a little bit harder to kind of match this specific tone, okay? Because obviously you're kind of dipping your brush into a lot of different colors, and Guerlain comes out with a lot of different colors of that particular product. But I do really love the luxuriousness of that particular product, and I think that you can reuse the packaging, etc. In general, I think that the packaging of the Guerlain products is just a lot more luxurious than Chanel. That's just me, but it's also like not really something that you can throw in your makeup bag, etc. So if you guys are looking for something that is a similar vibe in terms of the finish of this, those are the two that I would consider. They're both cheaper, they're both lovely, and the Guerlain in particular, I just love that luxury experience. I think you're gonna get a very similar luxurious experience from using that product. If you are looking for something that is just a little bit more pigmented, maybe maybe like a little bit more reflective, I would highly recommend those Dior Forever Couture Luminizers. Once again, I have a video swatching and demoing on my face every single color from there, and I would probably go for the golden glow or the pink glow, okay? I know I swatched that limited edition one for you, but that one is not currently available yet. So if you're looking for something that's like a little bit punchier and also just a little bit, just not as soft, like a little bit more extreme of a highlight, I would definitely go with one of those. Those retail for about, they are $48, I believe. Now this might be a little bit controversial, but honestly guys, I don't think that this particular highlighter is worth $80. I enjoy it. I don't regret it. I like it and I'm gonna use it, okay? This is beautiful. It's a beautiful collector's piece. If you guys like Chanel and you're into this kind of stuff and you love to participate in the collections, you want to treat yourself and like money isn't an option, get this because this is gorgeous, okay? But that being said, like the embossing on here, it's wearing off very, very quickly. It's not going to stay beautiful forever. And I think if you're buying something that's $80, please use it. Like, please use it. I know some of you guys, you were saying you might buy two, one just to kind of like have as a collector's piece to look at and then one to actually use. And I think that's totally fine. Like, no judgment here, okay? I understand, like this is absolutely stunning. But I think that there are just too many other things out there that are cheaper that look similar to this. I don't think that this is groundbreaking. I think that it is what we expect from Chanel. I think that it is a fantastic formula, but $80, man, that is so expensive. I do like that it came with the brush, but I also don't like to use that kind of brush with this style of highlighter. So I almost wish that maybe they made this like $10, $20 cheaper and removed the brush. That's just my personal opinion. I also, once again, this might be a little bit controversial. I don't really think this packaging is all that great. Like, it's just plastic packaging. And let me kind of demonstrate what I mean by that. Here is the bronzer from Victoria Beckham that I'm wearing on my face. This is like a paperweight, guys. This is amazing. Like, this is so luxurious. It has this gorgeous like tortoise shell in gold, like it's refillable. Like, these are just like, the packaging is just amazing. This is just one example. Another example of fantastic packaging, I think, is like the Guerlain lipstick cases, just like something weighty, luxurious, collectible. Like, I love this. Chef's kiss. This is kind of like what I would hope to see from Chanel, especially for $80. Like, I don't even think this costs $80. I know that, you know, it's Chanel, you're kind of just paying for the name, but as somebody who's kind of approaching this that doesn't have that much Chanel in her collection, but has a lot of other luxury items, I don't actually think that this is worth the $80. Like, I think it's beautiful and I'm glad I got it because I wanted to try something from Chanel, and I do think that this is very much my style. Whereas some of the other products that were in the line, they were nice, but they were just, you know, too similar to other things that I have in my collection. I'm just kind of expecting that for the price, I'm really going to be wowed. And while this is a fantastic product, I would just like to see something that is either like a little bit cheaper for this packaging or something that just kind of blows me away as a luxury makeup collector. So those are my thoughts, guys. If you are a collector of Chanel, if you are really into this particular tone and you think it looks beautiful, I absolutely think this is a great buy. But in general, if you already have a lot of luxury highlighters, maybe you already have a lot from Chanel, and maybe you're really thinking like, do I really want to spend $80 plus shipping for this? I think there's some other more affordable options. So that's what I think, guys. But it's not just my opinion that matters. Your opinion matters just as much as mine. So please sound off in the comments down below and let me know what you think. Did you pick this up? Because I know a lot of you did, and I want to know what you think. I really want to know what you think, and let me know if you're considering this, and you know, after watching this review, did you change your mind? I would love to hear you in the comments down below. I would also love to hear from you guys some other Chanel products that you would recommend for me to try. As I mentioned, I have a couple of Chanel products that I absolutely adore, but there's a lot of products from the line that I just haven't tried. Their eyeshadows are one of them. So please let me know what you would like me to try, and as always, let me know what you would like me to review, because I'm happy to do that. I love trying new things. I love kind of dipping my toes a little bit more into Chanel. I'm a little bit more of like, you know, a Dior girl at heart. So sound off in the comments down below and you guys let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Please also give this video a thumbs up. It definitely helps out my channel, especially with the YouTube algorithm. I'm a relatively new YouTuber, and I will also link my Instagram here and in the description box down below. That is where I tell you guys when these things launch, when all these things drop, and also when things go on sale. So definitely follow me on over there. That is a great place to connect with me day to day. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.